So first of all, we need to understand where this is given on the body. So if you can see the mannequin, think of an imaginary cross. The point between the two nipples, the center point here, is the point where you will be doing cardiac massage. So if you feel your body from the top, there's a hard sternum and then there's a soft portion that goes in lower sternum. This is the point where you will do CPR. Remember, the point is the same whether it's a man or a woman. Now we're going to show you hand positions, and we wish that you would also do this with us so that you understand how hand positions are kept. So put your dominant hand straight, make sure your elbow is straight, your hand is completely stretched out, open up the fingers and interlock it from the top with the other hand. You can see Anand and me doing it this way. This is the correct way to keep your hand position. Hands completely tight and interlocked. This is called the heel of the palm. This heel of the palm will come in this center point, the point between the two nipples. And how to do CPR, we're just going to show you a small video. After that, we're going to teach you even more in detail. You can see on the screen, person is made to lie down, heel of the palm, center of the chest, and he's ready to do compressions. Now, these compressions need to be done either from the left-hand side or the right-hand side of the person, not from the head side and not from the leg side. So let's watch this.
Now it's your turn to practice. First, get into position. Place the heel of one hand on the center of the chest. Put the heel of your other hand on top of the first. Follow along with the drum beat. Let's begin. Push straight down, hard. Push down at least 2 inches. Push at the rate of 100 to 120 compressions per minute. After each compression, let the chest come back up to its normal position. Keep your compressions going until the drum beat stops.
Heel of the palm, center of the chest, elbow straight, full pressure coming from the shoulders. Is compressing down, allowing the chest to rise, compressing down again, hard and fast. This is the way CPR or cardiac massage has to be done. So as we saw in the video, heel of the palm, center of the chest, and he started doing the compressions. Now these compressions need to be done at the rate of 100 to 120 beats per minute, going down 5 centimeters and recoiling. This is the rhythm, 100 to 120. But why this rhythm? Because our heart also pumps like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. With the same rhythm, you have to do the compressions, 1, 2, 3, 4. So exactly what are we doing? Person who's collapsed, if the blood doesn't reach the brain in 3 minutes, he's going to go brain dead, and 10 minutes he's gone. We do not want this to happen. So this heel of the palm becomes his heart. The moment you keep the hand in the center of the chest, you compress down and you recoil, that is, you allow the chest to rise, blood from his heart is pushed to his brain, keeping his brain alive. See how important this is. But doing this is not easy. You're on your knees, you're giving the full pressure from your shoulders. After some compressions, you will tire out. And if you tire out, you will not do effective compressions. But doing it is important. So what do? So one thing is good in our country. If somebody collapses, you have 10, 15 people stand around him, giving free advice. Throw water on his face, put a slipper to his nose. We have to say, no, we know what to do. And you start the compressions, tell everybody around you, watch how I'm doing. The moment you feel slightly tired, you tell the person in front of you, now you take a turn and do this. Then you take a turn and do this. Let people do this turn by turn so that effective compressions are being done. While the other person is doing it, you can check whether he is doing it correctly and call the ambulance as well. But till how long do we have to do this turn by turn? So you continue doing chest compressions turn by turn till 1, he revives. That is, he opens his eyes, he starts breathing, you stop your compressions. Secondly, if your cardiac ambulance arrives, then you will pass him on to the doctor to take care. Or thirdly, if somebody brings this machine to attach the pads, you will stop compression, or you're going to continue doing compressions. Doctors have done this compression even for an hour and a half and saved somebody. So remember, in a cardiac arrest situation, the person is almost gone. You cannot do anything worse. You can only bring him back to life by doing what you're learning today. So chest compressions in the center of the chest at the rate of 100 to 120 beats per minute, going down 5 centimeters and recoiling, doing this turn by turn till he revives or till your cardiac ambulance comes. Yes, Anand.
Let me tell you two or three odd things about CPR. So the full form of CPR is Cardiopulmonary Resuscitation. Cardio means cardiovascular. It's about the heart. Pulmonary means lungs or something to do with the lungs. And resuscitation means revival. So you're trying to revive a person via performing CPR. That's why it's called, CPR, via the compressions. The other thing that I can tell you about CPR is, whenever we've seen CPR being done, either on television or in the movies, we've always noticed that while they provide CPR, after immediately they've done CPR, they always provide mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, like trying to give air from the mouth. Now, I'd like you to know that you don't have to do it. There is no requirement for anybody to perform mouth-to-mouth if the situation is absolutely normal. And when I say normal, I mean you have just seen the person collapse, and it's not just been even a minute, and it's absolutely, the circumstances are normal, as in there is no water body involved. There's nothing else that you can see that you can identify as it being different from normal. Okay, so you don't have to do it, just do it the way you just saw being done, and that is known as hands only CPR. You do this, and that is going to be quite enough to save the life of that person. Having said that, I want you to know that the mouth to mouth, it's not like it's never done. So it's done, but in different circumstances. So for example, if the person is drowned and somebody's got him out of the water after a longer period of time, or the person is asthmatic, or it has been a drug overdose case, those are the reasons when you perform mouth to mouth. Otherwise, you don't really have to do it. Okay, and the last thing that I want to say about is, the CPR is never done on a person who is breathing. So remember that. And what I mean by that is, if a person collapses, it should not be understood that it's cardiac arrest and you have to perform CPR on that person. That is not necessary. You have to check whether the person has actually gone into a cardiac arrest situation. So if the person is not responsive and the person is not breathing, if these two conditions are met, then it's understood that the person has now gone into a cardiac arrest situation and CPR needs to be started absolutely immediately. At the same time, remember not to perform CPR on any person who may have collapsed and may have become unconscious, but would be breathing. And that includes the victim of a heart attack. Okay.